Hello everyone, we are proud to say this is the time you get served the finest brew on Enterprise TV. That's because the jurors have once again gathered. That's right, today we have a debutant juror with us in the person of Juror Chioma Okohia, who has a case on the latest chapter in the feud between Davido and WIZKID. Juror Cyril Abaku has a case on the National Assembly weighing in on the Bobrisky Very Dark Man drama. I will be looking at Nigeria's pathological excuse mania. That's a mouthful. Today's jury is here in place of your regular jurors. Do stay with us. You're welcome back. My case. Nigeria's endless excuse mania. Now, everywhere you go in Nigeria, it's all about excuses. Over the last few days, 3 major deposit money banks, Sterling Bank, First Bank, and Zenith Bank, have put their customers in a quandary. The excuse? System upgrade. It didn't matter to them that it was coming at the end of September and into the new month of October, when salaries are usually paid. As I speak, thousands of Nigerian civil servants at federal, state, and local government levels whose salary accounts are domiciled with these banks have yet to be paid. Do we talk about the government? Every excuse in the book is available for use or misuse, if you will. Excuses don't generate success. Excuses don't build an economy. Good planning does. The problem with our country is the easy recourse to excuses, whereas things can be done differently if we apply our hearts, minds, intellect, brains, and brawn to them. My verdict: excuses don't put food on the table. I find myself making excuses too, but it's a serious battle to keep it at the barest minimum. Nigerians need to develop a culture of applying extra effort to resolving issues. As a matter of fact, we should regard problems as opportunities to do better.
Well, that's a great case that you've made, Juror Emeka Madunago.
Thank you.
I mean, when it comes to money and salaries and incomes, everybody is affected.
Everybody.
Speaking good English won't take it away.
No.
Except that some of our banks have elected to have a covenant with mediocrity. Though they choose to give excuses rather than give you good services. As a matter of fact, banks that are deciding to do system upgrade at the end of the month appear to be practicing, I'm sorry to say, commercial witchcraft. You should do this thing in the middle of the month, when the impact on people's earnings and withdrawals will not be much felt. But how do you push that to the end of the month when families, people that manage to pay school fees, some are owing, rents are due, people who restocking the home is due. A lot of things depend on salary. Where the Nigerian economy is today, by the time the month has ended, already there's a lot of money that people are owing.
Absolutely.
In fact, for some people, their salary has already been, is virtually gone. Then even that one that has a deadline for them to pay back, they are coming to hear that a bank is doing. How many people can you go and explain to? Your stomach will not hear you. Your neighbors will not hear you. Your landlord will not hear you. And
your creditors will not hear you.
Your bank that is telling you that they are this system upgrade. A lady who is a janitor in an office told me she's tired of what she does not know what to do again. No. Her first employer has paid. Second employer has paid. The bank is telling her stories. And that they told the bank to come on Monday. When did Nigerian bank
next week?
No. When did Nigerian banks come back to put money to say no, don't come down, come back in 2 weeks time? Are we going backward or are we going forward?
Now there are some things we need to look at, or some factors we need to put into consideration that are actually causing this issue. Most of the professionals that are actually handling some of this sensitive position when it comes to system upgrade or the technicality when it comes to the bank, most of them have jackpot. Some of them have to work even if they've left the country, and they can't most times meet up to the demands that is needed from them. And this is actually causing the term system upgrade. But when it comes to Zenith Bank, for example, I've used it previously, and I can say every month it is something that is normal. So most of their customers, sorry to say, are not supposed to
Complain.
because they should know.
It has become a ritual.
It's becoming a ritual, especially when it's 30th, 1st, and 2nd. So just know anything you want to do, if you're trying to make any transaction, transfer, or make any payment, just forget about it. It's the first week of the new month that you can seamlessly do a transaction.
But you see, so the question now is, I think the regulator ought to look into this.
Yes.
And this is without prejudice to the excuse they are giving. Can we even ascertain, first of all, that first above all else, primus inter pares, that this is establishably a problem of system upgrade? Because the fact is this: systems are not made to be breaking down too often, especially when they have to do it finance, because it means that we'll be facing a danger we can't even imagine.
You know, the US, they're still investigating that glitch that shut down airlines and all. It's still being investigated.
Then number two is this about some foreign Nigerian officials delaying when money, because there was a time somebody had money to do a contract, 2.7 billion in this country, minister, he put it in the bank. If for the time that money was in that bank, the man wound up making 100 million naira on top of it. For the time he put the money, sure, of course. So let's ask ourselves, can the regulator look into the books and to be sure that indeed this is as the claim that has been made, and not some kind of...
You see, there was even another bank earlier, some months ago, that had the same system upgrade or system maintenance. And I learned that an engineer in the oil sector lost his only daughter because of this. He couldn't make a transfer. And he was even out of town. He wasn't where daughter was. So before he could muster funds through another bank, he had lost the daughter. So the sad thing is that the regulators are just asleep. So people can do... Nigeria is a place where people feel they can do anything and everything and they can get away with anything. Because why? People who ought to be regulating, people who ought to be controlling things, are themselves a part of the problem.
Yeah.
So for a bank to be telling you system upgrade, what if we have a serious issue like a cyber attack, for instance? So does it mean the whole country will just shut back and everybody will sit back and be watching? Like what happened when one cable, was cut somewhere on the West Coast, and it affected a lot of... So the thing is that when
telecom services,
when we talk about the problems of Nigeria, you just see that these things are deliberately orchestrated. One, because people don't want to apply themselves to finding solutions. Now, you talk about employment. How do you create employment? You create employment by simply finding workable solutions to problems. That's my own definition. Just find a problem. Find a problem, find a solution, workable for now. Maybe in a matter of years, a better solution will come up. But at least let that system work. And within it, you can create jobs, so many jobs. But what do you find? Excuses are being made by those who orchestrate these things. And then those who should regulate them are also making excuses. And at the end of the day, what do you find? You find that the country, there is no direction. There is no idea where the nation is headed. And it's a very sad thing.
Funny enough, the failure of Nigeria has a mountain load of excuses.
Too much.
To back it up. Every president had excuses why. Did you see when they were doing ministerial screening for Buhari's ministers in 2015? Oh boy. Most of them had been in government. Dan Bazao, Amechi, everybody. None of them was to blame. None of them was to blame for anything. And I think a friend of mine, one lawyer said, this person said he didn't steal. That one said he didn't steal. So who now stole the money? You know what I mean? So Nigeria, they brought them together. All of them had excuses why they did their best in their time and how it was not their fault that things are bad. And all of them, in fact, one of them famously had been fired because he was at an event where he sat back for a DSS agent to carry a rag and was wiping his shoe.
Yeah, that was Dan Bazao.
And Buhari didn't let him come back to the cabinet. So the question is, if no one is to blame, why are we where we are today?
But you see, the problem is the recourse to excuses. You know,
It's a shameful thing,
It is
actually.
shameful because actually, the human mind was designed, the human brain was designed in such a way that it regularly anticipates problems, challenges, difficulties, threats. So the human mind is designed in such a way that it can think ahead of those things.
Yes.
Now you want to deal with an issue that you anticipate might come up in a year's time. Like I tell people, you ought to have started planning since
No,
yesterday.
but Juro, isn't this because we think too highly of these people?
No. Also again, no, but we also help them to make excuses.
Well,
We justify these things.
But
no, what I mean is the way the West, for example, has evolved. Leaders take responsibility. If you look at a lot of parliamentary democracies, when government policies fail, they're like in the UK, how many PMs have they had in the past 5 years? They resign, and walk away. They resign and walk away. But in our own case, they will sit tight,
I'll be blaming the predecessor.
and then we will sit down sometimes and begin to say yes, and I'm begin to say no. The president should have done this. The minister should have done that. In my opinion, they are not where they are for lack of excuses. It is because they would rather not, for lack of good ideas, they would rather not do what they ought to do, invent excuses. So we think that they are not doing what they're not doing because maybe they don't have good advice. You're thinking too highly of them. They're not interested in your advice.
Yeah.
They're not interested in your analysis. They prefer to steal in that mess,
That mess, yeah.
create a facade of something is going on, so that once their time is up, they pack their bag and walk away.
now, if we're talking about them not wanting to handle the mess, there are small banks that have actually come up and they are helping
Even
to
fintechs.
mitigate, yes, to
Fintechs.
help mitigate and
Are they
bridge
not
this
fighting
gap.
to kill those?
That's what I
That-
want to say. They're fighting to kill
Those
the banks
fintechs.
that are trying to actually solve the
Create
problems
solutions, yes.
and create solutions. Why do they fight them if in the end they don't have something to gain from all these irregularities that is happening?
Chama, they say if you ask me, now who I go ask?
Anyway, when we return, Chioma Okoya is in the ring as a volunteer umpire in the last round of the WIZKID versus DAVIDO feud. Aren't you interested? Stay with us.
Welcome back to the middleman. My case, Davido versus WIZKID. There is a rift between Davido and WIZKID, and it's a situation in the entertainment industry that can be seen as a form of backstabbing or poaching. Let's look at the terms backstabbing and poaching. Backstabbing refers to a situation where someone in a position of trust undermines or betrays another person for personal gain. In this case, if Davido's team indeed went behind WIZKID's back to accept the deal with a lesser price, it would be a form of backstabbing because they took advantage of the negotiation process after WIZKID had already put forward his terms. And poaching in the entertainment and business world refers to the act of recruiting or taking away someone's opportunity, often underhandedly. Davido's team, by securing the deal that WIZKID had been negotiating for, even though the later rejected it based on pricing, could be seen as poaching the opportunity. These behaviors, though not uncommon in competitive industries like music and entertainment, they are viewed negatively because they disrupt trust, cooperation, and professional etiquette that typically governs business deals. My verdict: in the competitive world of entertainment, especially in the music industry, deals and negotiations are inevitable. However, how artists and their teams handle these situations can make a huge difference, not just in terms of career growth, but also in maintaining healthy relationship with fellow artists. The situation between WIZKID and Davido highlights an important lesson in professionalism. While it's natural for artists to pursue lucrative deals, it is crucial that they do so ethically and with respect for one another. Poaching or undercutting fellow artists, especially in a manner that undermines trust, can lead to animosity and tarnish reputations. And instead of focusing on personal gain at the expense of others, it is advisable that artists should strive for transparency and healthy competition, negotiating deals without undermining a peer's efforts, keeping communication open, and fostering a collaborative spirit is key to building a sustainable career. In the end, the entertainment industry is built on relationship both with fans and fellow artists. By handling deals with integrity and professionalism, artists can not only protect their own brand, but also contribute to a more positive and supportive industry environment. Now,
Very interesting. Very,
okay.
very.
Now looking at this issue between Davido and WIZKID, because a lot of Nigerians have been asking, why is WIZKID throwing tantrums on social media, especially on
Judo Chairman,
on
Judo Chairman,
on Instagram?
Judo Chairman. Let me stop in your tracks.
Mm.
Davido versus WIZKID
Mm,
is arguably the El Clasico of Nigerian music.
mm,
In Spain, it is Barcelona versus Real Madrid.
mm,
In England, maybe Arsenal versus Chelsea,
mm,
or Man U versus Liverpool, or Man U versus Man City.
mm.
Nobody wins those matches. You understand? Those matches, nobody wins it. Even on the day your team loses, your team is still the winner.
Mm.
So people can, fans, they call WIZKID FC versus the FC. They can even kill for it.
True.
I'm telling you, the fans take this like religion.
Mhm.
There are some elite people who are. I know of a man who is not a man of low means. He told me by himself that in the sitting room, if you entered, there's a huge Davido picture. He will never agree or accept to the fact that you're talking of a deal that nobody will. They say which deal is the deal actually?
Mm.
Is it really true or not? So we know where this thing is going most likely, but thankfully you have entered the ring as a volunteer umpire. So let's go there. For some time now,
Mm.
Well, I don't know the last time we can release an album or song or even a single. It's been a while. Okay, WIZKID has been doing stuff for some time consistently, and then Davido
Davido.
has been doing stuff for some time. In fact, and then gave us arguably the wedding of the century.
Yeah.
So he's been he's been out there. He's been hogging all the headlines. He's been doing a lot of big stuff, right? People have been saying the WIZKID now music they sing, release a song, let us go.
Mm.
That kind of thing. So I don't know what their problem is, two of them. I know that they began out, I think they started out as friends. Maybe later on they now parted ways. WIZKID was the first one to hit the limelight, was first one to be known. People when you meet those who they say the is not even a singer. He just go to do whatever he wants to do.
He's an entertainer,
I don't know.
a performer.
Me, I don't want to get involved in that trouble.
No, but if you look at it, in the entertainment industry.
Sorry, Emeka. Some people are going to smash to the bank again with this latest.
Of course, why not? Why not? It's a business now. There, like in an.
But when the WIZKID that's taking this thing, you know that something really personal, something is cutting him personally.
Yeah,
It's hurting because I believe if it's another artist that actually did this, he won't take it personal.
Perhaps.
He won't take it personal. But coming from Davido, and if we would judge on, looking at family background and everything, Davido is better than WIZKID. And maybe this is one day he's looking at putting mind, soul, and body together and expecting the company to reach out to him and say, okay, we've accepted your terms and conditions, only for him to hear that he supposed and then he went behind him to grab the little popcorn he's trying to put together. Yes.
Well, you see, in the entertainment industry, there is something they say they're allowed for a purpose. So in anything they do, every feud, they allowed for a purpose. Look at the feud between Fred Amata and Agatha Amata. That's another one that is just silently building up. I don't know where it will lead to. I don't know where it will end. So you just find out that there are some of there are these fires everywhere in the entertainment industry. Very Dark Black Man versus Bobrisky, Very Dark Black Man versus Chosen, Very Dark Black Man versus Jeremiah Buffet, Very Dark Black Man. Somebody listed, well, they're just, the entertainment industry, and that's how it is all over the world. They sustain a buzz around controversy. Look at in the US, look at PDD. Every day there's something to talk about, PDD's case. There is something new coming up. People are still trying to draw, Tupac Shakur's matter into this one. Something that happened, how many years ago. People are still trying to draw it in. And then, so you see, it's the nature of the entertainment industry. They're always, and if it comes to undercutting or poaching, or backstabbing or whatever, it's taken as a game in the entertainment industry. Not many in the entertainment industry will look away from an opportunity to poach for an opportunity to backstab a competitor. Remember, they are competitors. So it's about who
I think the rules of
the bigger, share of the pie. Yeah.
From the way we look at things in the normal world.
No, it's a world of sharks.
You see,
the entertainment industry is a world of sharks.
Okay, if you say the entertainment industry is a world of sharks, now let's look at the content creator. There is this unity and this team spirit among content creators.
That's what you think.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. What about the problem between McAngel and the other girl?
No, McAngel and Harmony, I think that's his name. Yes, they started together, but McAngel is not even fulfilling his own side of the bargain.
That's also another side.
This is coming from a team. Like they are a team. But one person is eating more than the others.
So what about very dark Batman versus Mr. Jalof? Who is an age to data?
There was a time Nigerian musicians sang for passion. The industry was.
No, but they were also fighting.
No, I'm coming. In the late 90s thereabout, our music was already had relatively come of age. Then the Plantation Boy stuff came early 2000s. The thing began to cut. But then P-Man, what's his name? Charlie Boy became P-Man president and said, anytime you are inviting any Nigerian artist now is $1 million bulk. Any elite artist, our music got to another level entirely. Now that time when they just got us over, let's go sing. The Nigerian ski people, they are also still coming up. A time will come when the money that industry will attract will be so big.
And there will be fewer players because now everybody wants to be a content creator.
When what happened to music happens to skip making, you will see the same things happening to them.
No, but what happened to music? Remember, was it Kollington, Ayinla Kollington, and Barrister? When this one will sing, will release a track. I don't know, but later they reconcile.
Yes, he also had his own with
so there, these things happen. These things happen, but even in the American entertainment industry, it's even deadlier. Because when you look at, those one, you look at Tupac Shakur, look at Biggie, Biggie Smalls, so you look at all of those things, and then look at PDD's problem now. So these things, entertainment, there are a lot of things that go into it. And when it has to do with
money, even get to know.
Yeah, when it has to do with money, we may think, oh, this person has a Maybach, this person has a Rolls Royce, this person has a Mercedes-Benz Brabus, this one has a Volkswagen Veyron, this one has a these guys, money has to keep rolling,
Yeah.
Because they spend money at such a rate that they have to keep retaining money.
Yes.
So just like which of us has said that his little popcorn, look, this is more than popcorn because they have a team they have to maintain. Then they have different kinds of payments.
It's a
volatile, and one little mistake
is coming in steadily. We want deal in a more
one little mistake. One little mistake can actually sink an artist.
An entire career,
One little mistake can sink an artist. So you just find out that in this, for some people, it might just be pure entertainment.
Yeah.
Oh, these guys have started again, What's the big deal? If you're undercut, after all, in every industry, even the real estate industry, people undercut each other. In the legal profession,
it's everywhere.
People do that. In journalism,
marketing.
People in marketing, you even see over the years, banks, the way they undercut, even they put theirs is even so they are so mean. They will go to an entire bank and poach their very good staff with so much money, promises, benefit offers, and almost closed down an entire bank.
Mm.
And then Choma was talking about Japan. Of course, these guys, even when they Japan, do you know that some banks, I know the fact that some banks, what they do when their staff are relocating, their staff members are relocating abroad, they offer them a job in their subsidiary, in the overseas.
Yeah, I know the friend who actually
branches.
got, yeah.
The overseas subsidiary.
First one actually.
So when you don't have a foreign subsidiary, then of course you're liable to lose your very good hands when they leave Nigeria.
So Choma, when you blow your whistle, I advise that you blow it in a way that
But I just feel and I just know that assuming it was another and not Davido, WIZKID will not react this way to the point of even calling his uncle out because it is now something bigger than he can chew. The pain is deep.
Well, no, but okay, what do you talk about? There was one, was it what's his name? You know, Kiss Daniel. He had a case, he had something like this now. And these things come up. It's all about money.
There's a possibility that the next thing that follows now is WIZKID drops a single. You know how they do that.
That is it. And they will load everything.
While his name is still, while that thing is still hot, he drops a single.
They will load it inside now. Yes, now he will load it.
Okay, and when we return, you may be familiar with terms such as NASS-ISM and NASS-ISM. But now, how about NASS-ISM? That's why you need to stay here and hear out juror Cyril Abaku's case in just a bit.
You're welcome back to the Middleman. My case, NASS-ISM. My case today is not a reference to Adolf Hitler's Nazism, fashioned in the rotten belly of the discontent that followed post-World War I Europe. Neither is it a reference to narcissism, the term psychiatrists created in 1889 to describe a person who treats their own body in the same way in which the body of a sexual partner is ordinarily treated. You see now, you wonder how both narcissism and narcissism both carry unpleasant meanings. Now, I may not have found a perfect definition for narcissism, but like prebendalism, it is a term unique to Nigerian politics. And I'm afraid that much like its cousins in the homonymic family, narcissism may not have a pleasant definition either. Narcissism is denotative of national decline, a state of affairs in which Nigeria's or a nation's highest echelons of power or its parliamentary authority is willfully taken for granted without capacity to enforce consequence. Usually, individuals, elected or appointed, can subject parliament to ridicule and nothing will come of it. It can be shunned and it will only stand aside, watchful in its own story without capacity for a comeback. Does not this tell us the way things are in Nigeria today? Look at Bobrisky. Look at Very Dark Man. Look at Dejade Onju. Look at our headlines today. Look at Nigeria. Look at democracy. Sigh. My verdict. Investigating Bobrisky is police work, not that of the National Assembly, or narcissists, as I call them now. But as it seems, everyone else has taken over a part of the police's original duty. The DSS has taken over some. The EFCC has taken over some. So has the NSCDC. So has the Army and the NDLEA. The list is endless. But we must be reminded that where police is dead, of necessity, must also policing die.
Well, it's not it's not unexpected that the Nigeria police, has come to this sorry pass. And it will get worse. By the time you have state police, you can as well just sing a dirge for the Nigerian police. Nigerian police will just die. Yes, because a lot of policemen will just go to their states and join the state police. Yes. Very few people won't. Look at, for instance, what state was it? One state where the governor was lamenting that they begged their people to come and join the army. Nobody. They begged them to join the police. Nobody. So why? Because you see, we have kept, I'm building up to something, we have kept these institutions of state, as tools for oppression. So they have lost the ordinary allure or respect that should be accorded to them. And it's growing up to the National Assembly. The state assemblies are dead. They're just, if you even mention state house of assembly, okay, speaker. Does any of us know the speaker of any state of house of assembly?
Who cares really?
You know the governor, but ask anybody. Even people in government, who is the speaker of your state house of assembly? Nobody knows. You only maybe hear about, when they are fighting and they, replace the speaker or deputy speaker and all that. Now it's building up to the National Assembly. Because the National Assembly, remember the last Senate president, said they willingly, accept, sanction decisions of the executive. That's why somebody called them the rubber stamp
assembly. Yes.
While this one is just comatose, dead.
They are the president special advisors.
They are dead.
The president appointed them.
You can see the Senate president saying we are aware that Nigerians are hungry. Senate president saying they are aware. So what that tells you is that the National Assembly, to all intents and purposes, is dead. So the fact that the House of Representatives could sink so low to institute a hearing on a saga between two entertainers, and then the EFCC didn't say anything until National Assembly. Then the federal government now came out to say they were going to investigate. And what did the minister say? That they will look into it. It was the same thing. If you remember, the same thing that the former Minister of Internal Affairs and of Interior, Ralph Aregbesola, said. It was about 5 years ago that we are going to investigate certain things. After a journalist, Samuel Ogundipe of Foundation for Investigative Journalism, made certain allegations. So he said they are going to investigate.
Are you referring to Fisayo Oshoyombo or Samuel Ogundipe?
No, I think it's Fisayo. Sorry, Fisayo Oshoyombo. So now, nothing came out of that. It's the same thing with this. Fisayo Oshoyombo came out on Facebook some days ago to say that look, nothing will come out of it because the rot is deeper and more institutionalized,
debilitating rot
than even the institution itself.
Crippling rot.
So there's no way the minister can do anything. That's why you see that this Minister of Interior has not gone beyond passport.
The minister said, I swear to.
So
now, if we are
he said, I swear to God, people that you've never given letter of suspension. Say, I swear to God, help those who have suspended are suspended. The minister was getting to know through very dark man that a prize prisoner didn't sleep in the cell. It is through very dark man that he was
the minister that's in charge of intelligence agencies.
He was
very dark man going to meet the National Assembly to answer the questions revealed that it was an audio suspension and not one that was actually stamped.
Did you see? Hold on, sorry. Did you see how very dark man arrived at night?
With a fetish.
This is a.
Who knows whether that was doing a fetish piece or just a skit?
No, that to me I would say is a skit.
It may have been.
I would say.
Well, did you prepare the
do you know?
Well, in African tradition, do you rub when you see all those people who rub all those things on their bodies? But very dark man had gloves on. So what was he rubbing on gloves?
But
that's ridiculous.
What I don't even understand is how does your parliament of your country invite you, and it's all it was as if they knew that this whole thing is just a setup.
Of course, yes, no, because the institution.
Our leaders are actually hard for at the court. So definitely.
So I just feel like it doesn't even have from respect any modicum of respect left for federal lawmakers. Then the lawyer that went with him, Deyanju, went and said, in addition to my name, I'm a troublemaker at the National Assembly.
So it tells you
where these things began. When House of Reps will summon service chiefs, they refuse to go. Summon ministers, they refuse to go. You think that you are playing politics?
Even summoned the DG of Securities and Exchange Commission. If you remember,
yes.
Arun Maote.
Yes. And you will think that, you know,
And she didn't turn up.
but you know, under the Buhari 8 years, that thing rose to a crescendo. Anybody they invite will shun them. Even when this woman was found to have spent how many millions buying sanitary pads for girls, and some millions traveling from Abuja to Anambra, they summoned that. It was your word versus mine. They can't offer consequence. Parliament is more powerful than police. More powerful even than the president. Parliament is the real dictators, if you call it that. Because by law they are empowered to do and undo.
Watch the British Parliament in session.
When they speak,
You see, when they put the Prime Minister on the spot,
he jumping on the line.
he had to keep speaking at all.
You recall when there was a semblance of honor for for the legislature when El Rufai said those guys are idiots, or President Obasanjo back then went to the National Assembly, and what did he do? He knelt down. You forgot in America. He knelt down and begged, say, "I'm sorry for this man." But you see, when the country begins to lose value, those lawmakers are just there to mark time, and now they are angry that they gave Akpabio GCON and gave.
No, they are not saying today that they didn't reject CFR. That
they are only
asking that it should upgrade it.
See these people.
Now they should upgrade. They're coming to sit because they in question are the ones affected.
Who knows? My case today is that, but
the WIZKID turn up.
WIZKID said he's not feeling fine.
Fine. Where is the medical report?
As an editor, as an editor of many years standing, do you know that even that English of saying not feeling fine, I find it out of place. You see this, if you watch, if you bought a car, they say get well soon. Somebody not feeling well, somebody who is unwell, which is even how they describe it in medicine, is more standard language than saying he's not feeling fine. See this there's something about how much value we have lost as a country.
No, we even place on ourselves.
Yes.
Those handling decisions don't place any value on them.
That's right.
So why are we forcing value on them?
Are you speaking colloquial English? Yeah, he's not feeling fine. Will you write that in a letter, in a serious formal letter? I honestly, I've called it NASS-ISM, NASS-ISM. This is their own kind of, is their own kind of government to NASS-ISM. They are just there for the sake of being there.
No, just to put up appearance.
They are like furniture in Abuja there. You know what I mean? They are just there to add up the number to say, since we're practicing democracy, there is the lawmakers, then there's the
president. No, one of my friends said they are practicing democratic activities.
What a way to put it.
That is not democracy. That is just democratic activities.
Just go to the motions, hold the sitting, and then if the president came to say now, change anything for me in 24 hours, they'll get a change for him.
Now, how
look at the police act was amended in less than 24 hours.
Yes,
if that same day.
It was.
Now, if we have to talk about this, because most of the things that have been amended by the National Assembly have been things that are favorable to them, things that are in position
primarily to the president, yes.
Aside from the president, to their caucus.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to put it. Now, what is the hope of we, the common man?
Well, the thing is that the common man, you see, has to stop being common. The common man has to stop commonizing and commoditizing himself or herself. So the common man ought to know, like I was advising one lady on Facebook the other day, I said, look, you have to first of all realize that the best person that can help you is yourself. That you are the best, that nobody, that if you're complaining that, men just want to take advantage of you, blah, blah, because you have 4 children, you are, no husband, and blah, 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 blah. That look, you are the one who will take the decision whether you want to be a pawn, a commodity, a rag, or you want to stand on your own and dictate terms of engagement.
Exactly.
And you know what? She actually now replied that my comment touched her. Because I said, look, it is until you decide that, look, enough is enough. That's fine. If your business is not doing well, look for a job.
Yeah.
Put the business on the side, look for a job, and get it on board. Let me tell you something. There that too often we look at issues as difficulties. But look, life is about surmounting difficulties. So now, if the Nigerian so-called common man can stop being common and look at the fact that, wait a minute, there are actually opportunities in this system. One, the fact that I have a country, a space called Nigeria, means that there is so much I can do because of the population, 200 million. There are videos now that Japan is actually closing down because they are not getting married. Many are not having children and all of that. Schools are closing down. So I said, why not? Wait a minute. If your schools are closing down, look at the northern Nigeria. They are producing very seriously, even many places in Nigeria. Why not come and pack some people from here now, like Western nations did, and take them to Japan so that at least they keep your population.
Even if they should take them, they should first of all do a mind check.
That one is not difficult to do.
When you land there,
it's not difficult to do. But what I'm saying is this: when you look at the population of Nigeria, 200 million people, if you go this way today, you even when you take public transport and all of that to your destination and back, you will come across, even walking past people on the road, you will come across nothing less than 50 people in a given day.
Yeah.
So when you do that consistently, imagine how many people you come across. Even people you don't talk to, I'm just saying you walk past, in a year. So just imagine if you stopped someone and said, wait a minute, please, sorry, good afternoon. I actually sell, maybe noodles. I sell noodles, and maybe your children will be interested in noodles. Or I sell, there's a new type of biscuit I sell. Okay, you mean somebody might just walk away. Why do so? And that person might say, oh, yeah, okay, can I see a sample and all of that? So what it tells you is this: every human being you meet is an opportunity that you don't know about. Two, look, all these freebies, seasonal freebies, will only take you as far as that very moment. They give you bread. What is bread? They give you rice. They give you money, and all of these things will not go far. So when you place value on these people, and you are saying this person is this, you should address this person as this. At the end of the day, look, these people don't even they don't place that same value on themselves. So imagine what Jurosiri talked about earlier, a DSS personnel cleaning the shoes of one retired military officer. Is he bigger than the DSS officer? No. So when you look at these things, you just find out that if people can speak up more, the problem is that many are afraid. Many don't want to speak up because, no, let it not be like, I'm Igbo. Let it not be like I'm criticizing a fellow Igbo man. As if the fact that he is an Igbo man or she's an Igbo woman has anything to do with it. So we must make sure that we change our minds, change our mindset, change our thinking, and ask questions. Social media is there. Haven't they complained many times about social media? Why don't they ban it? Why don't they regulate it? Because they know that they need that space too. So the fact that they need that space tells you that, you have an avenue to speak up. I was on X one day, then it was Twitter, when the wife of then President Muhammad Buhari tweeted something against a former governor, that night. And then people were supporting and all of that. And then quickly, within a few minutes, she deleted it. But I saw when she posted it. I got notification when she posted it. And there were people who screenshot it. So what does it tell you? They need this medium. We need to speak up. The House of Representatives is not looking at the blending plant they talked about in Malta. They are not looking at the cost of fuel. Right. They are not looking at the fact that in the last 1 month, oil price has gone down from $82 to $70. Just because of this Iranian attack on Israel, which is normal, prices moved from 70 to 71 and then still dancing. But that just knee-jerk reaction. Now, what everybody is saying is that if Israel hits Iran's oil facilities, the price may go up, but it will not go up to the point of going back to 80. It will just stay for maybe 1 or 2 days, maybe close to 74, 75, and then maybe drop back to 65. So, but our National Assembly members are not even engaging in public debates
in the matters that matter.
that matter.
They are debating about their breakfast, debating about their lunch, debating about dinner, and
even the benefits for their side chicks.
Yeah, now those are the things that
Juremeka,
they're talking about.
thank you. I don't know, because of the side chick, that's why I reacted.
No. When I talk about side chicks, no, I'm not just talking about women. No, I'm talking about their side offerings. Not just I just use it, figuratively. Their benefits now. They are honors. They are honors and all of that.
Tell him not to pay me intelligence. He should not. Anyways, like the African singer-songwriter said one time, Africans must learn to emancipate themselves from mental slavery. I think that's a fine place to drop today's conversation on. I have to thank my fellow jurors here who have been here today in place of the regular suspects. Juremeka, thanks for being here today. And my debutant juror, Chomok, I hope you love the experience, and I plan to be here when we call you next time.
Yeah,
hopefully you will relate with the juror Olajumoke Alawode James and see how that works. But it's still for us to thank you for coming for being here.
Thank you.
Of course, the juror from Rabbi, he went here on today's show. We know that it was for unavoidable reasons, but we wish you all the very best and hope that next week you're here with us. Until the middlemen come your way next time, do well to follow us on social media. We are Enterprise TV 7. Our website is www.enterprisetvnews.com. Follow, like, subscribe, and share. It's bye for now.
Bye.
Middleman.